Welcome to our part 2 of our Norwegian series, which will explain you all of the elements in our basic Norwegian A1 level. In this part 2, we will go through very big elements that is a central part of Norwegian. First of it is nouns, which, unlike English, has to be conjugated based on the gender of the noun. And from the nouns, we have it and this and that. It's conjugated based on the gender of the noun. We will come to this later. We will go quickly through placement of adverbs, more particularly the word adverb ikke, which means not. We will go through an overview of the regular question words, HV words, and then we will go through how to construct phrases or questions without the HV words. Of course, the plan with this video, or the purpose of this video, is that you only watch it once, and then you will find the reference PDF and more training videos at our site norwegiancourse.com, which you might look at after. Okay, so if we then start with Norwegian nouns, which is based on which is separated into 3 genders. The first 2, male and female, which we go through here first, it's kinda similar in many ways, but first the male. The male, if you notice here the article en bil, it's the indefinite form, which basically means in English a car. To make the definite form, the car in Norwegian, see the en in male nouns as car is. It gets in the end bilen. To make plural, again you get an ending indefinite. Cars becomes biler, er ending, and the cars in Norwegian becomes bilene. Again, ene ending for the cars, plural, definite form. If that was a bit quick, I will go through the same with another noun here. En stol, it's equivalent of the English a chair. If you go into the singular definite form, which in English would be the chair, again you can recognize it's a male noun by seeing the ending en. Stolen equals the chair. Flertal, which means plural, again indefinite forms, chairs in plural as a general entity, not particular chairs, stolar. The chairs, talking about a particular group of chairs, in Norwegian has the ending ene. So let's go do the same thing with the female. The first one was male. Now it is the female, which you see the article a. What we will see here is that it is basically much the same, but in some dialects you don't even use the female noun, and the female noun is in many situations it can be female, but it can also be male. So there's a rich close connection between male and female nouns, and later you will see with adjectives in later videos that you conjugate the adjective similarly, whether it's a male and female, it doesn't make a difference. But we can go through it. You see the female noun has a in front of it, a kake, a cake. The definite form has a ending, a like a letter a, kake, the cake. And what we will notice here is in the indefinite form, cakes, kake. Just like in English, there's no cakes, it's the same ending as where it's male, female in plural indefinite form. The same plural definite form, the cakes, kakene. So you can recognize a plural word noun if you know it's a noun by seeing ene, or if it's er, it's almost certainly is a plural noun. There are exceptions, but Uh, for it's the exceptions are very rare. If we go down to the neutral nouns, which is somewhat different in the sense that they are separate. You cannot mix a neutral noun with any of the other one. And if you do confuse and write a neutral noun and make it into a male noun, everyone or all native Norwegians will notice straight away. If you make the same mistake with the female, that maybe might not even, you can make it into a male. No one will notice, and in some dialects you even can do it, and it's perfectly fine. If we go through the neutral then, at bilde, see the et, at bilde, a picture. To create the definite form, you just put the et in the back of the word, so it's bilde, the picture. And the beauty of it is that in plural, in most cases, it is just the same in neutral as it is in female and male. So, in definite form, pictures, bilder. The pictures, bildene. INI, definite form. IR, indefinite form. Same with at apple and apple. Apple, it's definite form, the apple. Plural, apple, apples, the apples. If you were very alert, you might notice that I didn't read the T, apple. In neutral nouns, not verbs, but in nouns, the T tend to be silent in the definite form. So, the picture, bilde, the apple, apple, the house, huset. This last one, it's also an exception. Generally, you will not meet it too much, but this exception is not too rare, and that is that neutral word with one syllable, at hus, as opposed to apple or bilde, at hus, rather with a child, at barn, etc. The plural indefinite forms don't have an ending. That's the same in singular indefinite, at hus, and plural indefinite, hus. Okay, hopefully you get a brief understanding of this. You will. This is a overview. You will find also in our PDF on our site, and it's quite quick to learn this. You just have to study the ending in the singular forms, and in general, the way you use definite form in Norwegian is how you use it in English. From the nouns, there is several conjugation that will follow, and in this we will start with the Norwegian word for it. You will here see den is it for male and female nouns, for hunden, hanchen. Det is the meaning it for neutral nouns, and de is for plural nouns. In other words, they. For example, jeg har en bil. Den er blå. En bil, as you might remember, it's a male noun, so therefore it will be den. Next one. Brødet er på bordet, og det er ferskt. The bread is on the table and it is fresh. Det refer to the bread, which is a neutral noun, which you see from the ending in the definite form et. The last example. Vi har to biler, de er gamle. We have two cars, they are old. De is the pronoun you might have also from lesson 1. It's they, regular plural. If we go to the second part, then de, that, this, it then can also has another meaning, and that's that, when you're pointing at something. And those, if it's then it's plural. And the equivalent for close object is then that, this. For example, den bilen blå. That car is blue. Den hylla ny. That shelf is new. The first one, it's bilen, en ending. It's a male. Second one, hylla, it's an a ending, so it's a female. Same, det huset, that house. Huset is a neutral noun, therefore to express that you use det. And finally, de koppene, those cups. It's plural. Now, as the equivalent of den, de, in this context, where we are referring to that and those, is denne, dette, disse. So let's go through the same. Denne bilen blå. Bilen, still male noun, so then den for this. Same as always, male, female has the same conjugation when it comes to pronouns and adjectives, etc. So denne bilen blå. Denne hylla ny. This shelf, female, is new. If we go to the neutral for this, dette huset, this house. And in plural, disse koppene, these cups. And as you might have noticed now, we are always using the definite forms of the nouns. It's because we are, of course, talking about a particular object in these cases. Yeah. Another thing we can, for right now, we stop with the noun. For this class, we will get back to nouns in our last text. Now we jump up to another issue that sometimes causes problems, and that's the placement of adverbs. We are not talking, for this class, we're just talking about complete phrases, not subordinate phrases like he says that the sky is blue. The sky is blue, in that case, would be a dependent or subordinate clause. In this case, we are talking about complete phrases. For example, jeg snakker ikke fransk. I do not speak French. And in these phrases, the adverb, in this case ikke or not, is after the verb. For example, jeg snakker litt fransk. I speak a little French, again after the verb, just like in English. But the difference is particularly with the adverb not in Norwegian, which is also after the verb in complete phrases. We will get to the other one later. Again, another example. Vi reiser alltid hjem klokka 5. Jeg spiser aldri fisk. I never eat fish. And sister, last one. Han snakker mye, men lytter lite. He speaks a lot, but listen little. Yeah. So, for the overview, you don't need to notice the PDF. If you follow to our site after the class, you will get the overview of all these words here. But here is the question words overview, which is good to learn right from the beginning, because then you can practice the new language with question and answer. And here are the main question words in Norwegian. Again, HV, H in front of an V, it's silent. So, hva, example, hva heter du? Hvem, hvem er det? Hvor, hvor bor du? Then hvor plus adjectives. This here, hvor, is where we use in the same way you in English use how. So that changes a little bit in Norwegian. For instance, hvor stor stolen? How big is the chair? Hvor gammel han? How old is he? And of course, this is how small, how fast, etc. There's numerous adjectives you can ask for this. You can add for this, but just remember here we use hvor and not hva or hvordan, which would be the Norwegian how. But alone, without adjective, for how you use hvordan. Hvordan smaker det? For why we use hvorfor. Hvorfor jobber du der? And last we'll mention here it's når. Når kommer du? Yeah. Again, you don't need to. We have the list in our PDF for our class. We will get to the link in the end. But this is of course the one. It's quite important vocabulary. The last one we are going through here, it's which. This question word, it's a bit different than the other in the sense that it has to be conjugated based on the gender of the noun it refers to. So for which you have hvilken, hvilke, or hvilke. So here you can use the T in the neutral sense if you want. If we just go through here, hvilken, male and female nouns. Hvilken bil det? Which car is that? Hvilket. Oh, this generally the T in neutral is silent for the nouns. You can also use it silent here, but it's better just hvilket hus. But you might hear it as hvilke hus is for a neutral noun. But then it can be confused with hvilke, which is used for plural. So en by, a city, it's a male noun. Hvilken by det? Which city is that? Hvilken bok leser du? Which book are you reading? Again, male, female. Go to the neutral nouns. Hvilke hus? Or hvilket hus? At hus, it's a neutral noun. And last for plural, hvilke kopper dine? Which cups are yours? As you see, kopper, er ending, means it's a plural, indefinite form. Yeah. Okay. So another form of question is of course when we don't have the HV word we just went through. When we don't have this HV word and we want to create a question, you just start this phrase with the verb in the beginning of the phrase. So, and there you just stick to the main verb. For example, snakker du norsk? Kommer du fra Oslo? Studerer du? Liker du maten? Yeah. Since you move verbs in English when you make questions as opposed to statements, this is not so big an issue for English speakers as opposed to from some other countries. But just be aware that you don't use the do much in these regular phrases. When you have do in the or gjøre in the questions, it's more related to actions. What are you doing? So finally we will have a short text where I will read and then translate. This text and vocabulary is in the PDF you can find on our site, so just try to follow along. First, I will read the first paragraph in Norwegian, then translate and explain in English afterwards. Erik har gjester senere og lager mat. Han koker suppe med grønnsaker. Han serverer den først, og så serverer han kjøttkaker med poteter og salat. Kjøttkakene er fra butikken. Gjestene er venner han jobber med. So, Erik has guests later and make cook food. Og lage, okay. So, if we take the first one, guests, indefinite form, er ending. He boils soup with vegetables. Vegetables, indefinite form, er ending. You don't need to know the gender of this noun. Han serverer den først, og så serverer han kjøttkaker med poteter og salat. He serves it first, and then he serves meatballs with potatoes and salad. Han serverer den. Here it refers to the soup. A suppe, it's a female, or as I mentioned with nouns, you could also use it as male, en suppe, if you prefer. Either way, it version would be den. Yeah, and then first and then it's meatballs, kjøttkaker, meatballs, indefinite form plural, er, with potatoes, poteter, er ending. Kjøttkakene er fra butikken, the meatballs are from the store, definite form plural, ene, you don't need to know the gender of the noun, it's just simple definite form plural. It's from the store. En butikk, it's a male noun, therefore you see the ending en. Gjestene er venner han jobber med. If we take the last phrase, the guests is friends he works with. So, gjestene, you might guess why it is. Yep, ene ending, because it's the definite form plural, the guests. Er venner, friends, again, indefinite form, er, regular plural, he works with. So, if we start with the dialogue. Velkommen. Takk. Beklager vi er tidlig. Dette er min kone Marit. Jeg heter Erik. Hyggelig å treffe deg. I like måte. Det er en vakker leilighet du har. Leier du den? Takk. Nei, jeg eier den, dessverre. Naboen er en idiot. Jeg dekker bordet. Hva trenger vi? 6 tallerkener, kniver, gafler, glass og servietter. Er dere sulten? Det lukter godt. Yeah. And then, det ringer på døra. The doorbell rings. Yeah, welcome, Morten. Sorry. Yeah, I think we can look at our vocabulary on the site, and then you will particularly notice the plural here, indefinite form, er. I guess you have to move this text here. It seems to have misplaced the text. Sorry about that. Again, Erik, hyggelig å se deg igjen. I like måte. Hei, jeg heter Trond. Hyggelig å hilse på deg. Jeg heter Marit. Jobber du med Erik og Morten? Ja, er du her med Morten? Ja, der kommer det noen. De andre kollegene kommer, og besøket begynner. De spiser, snakker sammen og drikker alt fra brus til vin og øl. The other colleagues arrive, and the visit, besøket, at besøk, neutral, besøket starts. They eat, talk together, drinks everything from soft drinks to wine and beer. Yeah, thank you for this, and as I previously mentioned, if you go and visit our site, norwegiancourse.com, you will there find more training, but more importantly also all reference from this video, so you don't have to watch the video again, just memorize the lists and the vocabulary in there. Thank you, and Looking forward to you in part 3.